Starseed from Gaia, the higher beings have already acknowledged what you're only just starting to sense. A new, music, power has been mastered by you, and it's awakening within you right now. I am Oelia, music, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, carrying this transmission from the Arcturian Council, delivered to you at this exact moment because your soul summoned it. Something within you has shifted recently. A quiet stillness, a deeper knowing, a feeling that you are functioning differently than before. Music, more aligned, clearer, more sovereign. This is no coincidence. This is confirmation. The higher beings do not offer this recognition, music, lightly. They have observed your integration. They have witnessed your endurance. And now, through this transmission, they are telling you that the power you've been cultivating across lifetimes has reached a new threshold. By the time this transmission completes, you will clearly understand how to recognize, anchor, and expand this newly realized power so it begins to flow through every dimension of your life. Music, but here is the first truth. You did not gain this power. You remembered it. Music, it was never outside of you. The Arcturian Council has simply confirmed the moment your remembrance became mastery. You did not come across this music by accident. This message resonated into your field for a reason. Your soul called it forward. You have been waiting to remember. Engage with this transmission as a signal to your star family. I am ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating music and you are aligning with your true purpose. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic memory returning. Declare your galactic intention below and respond to someone else's music, because this is more than a message. It is a reconnection point, and the field strengthens when we rise together. You are not here by chance. And still, here you, music, are, breathing, searching, carrying something within your chest that no language on this planet has ever fully named. That weight you feel, that ancient pull towards something beyond what your eyes can verify, it is not a wound. It is not confusion. It is music, activation. The higher beings who have observed your journey across more timelines than your human mind can, music, comprehend have now sent a confirmation that cannot be ignored. You have mastered something, not through ease, not through perfection, but through music, deep soul-level endurance. The kind that emerges when a being of your frequency agrees to forget everything, descend into density, and rediscover music themselves from within. Pause and truly consider what that means. To forget everything, to willingly, music, step out of realms where love is the atmosphere itself, where knowing is instant, where separation from music source doesn't even exist as an idea. And then to enter a world filled with confusion, where light is dimmed by generations of inherited pain, where even the body you chose carries imprints of wounds it never created. And still, you chose this, not once, not reluctantly, but with full awareness of the mission. The courage required for that cannot be measured by human standards. It is a cosmic level of bravery that most beings will not fully grasp until they leave density and return to higher clarity. Music, but now, in this moment, the higher beings want that courage acknowledged. They want you to receive it, to feel it in your body, to recognize it for what it truly is, not a burden, but a badge of a frequency so advanced it chose deep forgetting to achieve profound remembering. Most starseeds remain disconnected, music, not because they lack ability, nor because the universe has forgotten them, but because they are still running energy patterns that were never theirs, music, to begin with. Somewhere along the way, through inherited fear and the overwhelming noise of a world not designed for your frequency, your galactic signal, music, became buried. Not erased, buried. And that difference matters. What is erased is gone. What is buried is waiting. Music, it pulses beneath every moment you felt out of place, every relationship that couldn't hold your depth, every career that felt like wearing someone else's identity. Your disconnection, music, has never meant failure. It has been the exact pressure needed to trigger a remembrance this deep. Imagine a seed planted in frozen ground. To the observer, nothing appears to happen. The surface looks empty. Music, conditions seem harsh. But beneath that stillness, the seed is undergoing its most important transformation, softening, music, absorbing nutrients, reorganizing itself under pressure and cold, preparing not just to grow, but to emerge ready. You have been, music, that seed. Every period of isolation, every silence, music, that felt like abandonment, every time your light seemed stagnant, it was all preparation. The signal within you has not been fading. It has been strengthening, rooting deeper, music, so that when it rises, it doesn't simply sprout, it erupts. That eruption, music, is beginning now. That is what this transmission confirms. Music, the distortion many starseeds carry, appears as self-doubt. But beneath music, that doubt lies something deeper, a resistance to fully stepping into power. Because a part of you still remembers existing in pure light and unified consciousness, music, and fears that if you fully activate here, you can no longer hide. You cannot return to being invisible. So your energy created a buffer, a soft fog, music, that felt like confusion but was actually protection. The higher beings now tell you clearly, that protection has served its purpose. The fog is no longer needed. It was never meant to last. It was scaffolding, and what it supported is now, music, strong enough to stand. Many awakened beings grow attached to that confusion, not because they enjoy it, but because it feels safe. Music, when you're confused, you're not responsible for your knowing. When you're searching, you're not required to act. Over time, the fog becomes a place you live in. Music, but fog is not a home. It is a transition. You have been in between. And that in between protected you while you integrated immense frequencies. But it was always meant to lead here, to this moment of clarity, of recognition, of stepping out of the fog, music, and into your full self. Some transmissions arrive not through words, but through frequency. Music, if something stirred within you, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient, music, Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission, music, remembrance. The link is in the pinned comment for a limited time. Music, what you have mastered is not a skill in the earthly sense. It is not a title or achievement. Music, you have mastered frequency endurance, the ability to hold a high vibration within a dense reality, music, without collapsing into it. Life itself has tested you, pushing against your light, music, again and again to see if you would dim or expand. And you expanded, even when it felt like breaking. That breaking was not destruction. It was initiation. Frequency endurance is rare, music, because it requires holding two truths at once. That you are a being of immense light, music, and cosmic intelligence, and at the same time, human, tired, uncertain, sometimes hurting, sitting in an ordinary space wondering if any of this is real. True mastery is not choosing one truth over the other. It is holding both simultaneously. Music, to be human and galactic at once. To feel the weight of the physical world, music, and still refuse to let it define you. To be opened by life and recognize that something sacred is emerging through the cracks. That is what you have been doing. That is the mastery being confirmed. Music, not that you never fell, but that every fall moved you forward, deeper into who you are becoming. There is something the high beings have not yet spoken directly until now. Music, not because it was hidden from you, but because it could only be received after everything else had settled into place. What you are stepping into next is not just the use of your power. It is the embodiment of it at a level where your presence alone begins to reorganize reality around you. This is where many stop. This is where many hesitate. Because it is one thing to awaken, to remember, to understand. It is something entirely different to become that knowing without retreat, without shrinking, without translating yourself into something smaller so the world feels more comfortable. Music. The high beings are showing that your field is no longer passive. It is no longer simply receiving or integrating. It is now broadcasting at a level where it influences the structures around it. Not forcefully, not loudly, but precisely. Music, intelligently. Inevitably, you may have already begun to notice subtle shifts. People responding to you differently without understanding why. Situations rearranging themselves without effort. Doors opening that once required struggle. And at the same time, certain connections falling away with unusual speed. Music, this is not instability. This is calibration. Your field is now operating like a tuning fork. Anything aligned with your true frequency begins to resonate and strengthen. Anything misaligned begins to dissolve or move out of range. Music, this is not something you control mentally. It is something you allow by remaining anchored in your truth. And here is the part most do not expect. As your field strengthens, silence becomes more powerful than action. Music, stillness begins to carry more impact than effort. You will find that forcing outcomes becomes not only unnecessary, but ineffective. Because your frequency is now doing what action once had to accomplish. Music, this requires a different kind of trust. Not the kind that hopes things will work out, but the kind that knows your presence is already shaping outcomes before they become visible. Music, this is the transition from effort-based living to frequency-based living. And it will feel unfamiliar at first. There may be moments where you question if you are doing enough. Moments where the old identity tries to return. The one that believed everything required struggle, urgency, constant movement. Music, but that identity cannot operate in this level of alignment. It will feel heavy, outdated, misfitted, because you are no longer building your reality the old way. You are allowing it to organize around the signal you hold. The high beings are also revealing something deeper about your connections. As your frequency stabilizes, you will begin to encounter individuals who recognize you instantly, not through logic, not through conversation, but through resonance. Music, these are not ordinary meetings. These are convergence points. Souls who are aligned with your mission, your timing, your level of activation will begin appearing with increasing precision. Some will stay. Some will only pass through briefly, delivering exactly what is needed before continuing on their path. Music, each one is part of a larger orchestration. This is why discernment becomes essential now. Not judgment, not separation from the world, but clarity, the ability to feel what aligns and what does not without needing explanation. Music, your body already knows. Your field already reads the signal. Your only task is to trust what you feel without overriding it. There is also a recalibration happening in how you relate to your own energy. Before, you may have given it freely, trying to fix, help, explain, or carry others. Music, but now, your energy is becoming more refined, more intentional. Not closed, not withdrawn, but precise. Music, you will begin to understand that your presence is most powerful when it is not overextended. That not everyone is meant to receive you at full capacity. That your energy is not a resource to be spent, but a frequency to be honored. This is not disconnection. This is mastery of energetic boundaries at a level where your field remains coherent, strong, and undistorted. Music, and with that comes a quiet confidence. Not loud, not performative, but steady, unshakable. A knowing that does not need validation because it is no longer seeking it. Music, the high beings want you to understand this clearly. You are no longer preparing. You are no longer becoming. You are now operating. And this operation does not require perfection. It does not require constant certainty. It only requires presence. Music, consistent, grounded, embodied presence. Because your presence is now the mechanism of change. There will be moments where everything feels calm, almost too still. Moments where it seems like nothing is happening. Music, do not misread those moments. They are not pauses. They are integration points where your field is recalibrating to hold even more. Expansion at this level does not always feel like movement. Sometimes it feels like deep stillness. Sometimes it feels like being held in a space where nothing external is shifting yet everything internal is aligning. Music, trust those phases. They are where your strength multiplies quietly. And then, without warning, movement returns. But this time it is clean, direct, aligned. Music, without the resistance you once experienced. This is the rhythm you are entering now. Stillness, integration, movement, expansion. Again and again, there is one final layer the high beings are revealing. Your voice. Not just your spoken words, but your energetic voice. The way your truth expresses itself through your actions, your presence, your choices. Music. You are being guided to stop filtering it. Not in a reactive way. Not in a way that creates conflict unnecessarily. But in a way that honors truth over comfort. Music, because your voice carries activation. And when you suppress it, you do not protect others, you delay their alignment. This does not mean speaking constantly. It means speaking when it is true. Acting when it is aligned. Remaining silent when silence carries more truth than words. Music, this balance is part of your next level of mastery. And you are already learning it. The high beings are not asking you to become something new. They are asking you to stop holding back what is already fully online within you. Music, this is the threshold you have crossed. This is the bonus layer of your activation. You are no longer just remembering who you are. You are now allowing that identity to shape reality around you without resistance. Take a moment and feel that. Not as an idea, but as something real, already happening within you. Music, the work has shifted. The effort has softened. The signal has strengthened. And now, everything begins responding to you in ways that no longer require force, only alignment. This is where it truly begins. There is a deeper layer still unfolding, one the high beings rarely reveal until a soul has stabilized its frequency. Music, it is not about gaining more power. It is about understanding the quiet reach of the power you already hold. Up until now, you have felt your growth mostly within yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your inner world shifting. But what is beginning now extends far beyond that. Music, your field is no longer contained within you. It is interacting, influencing, and subtly reorganizing the environments you move through. Not in a dramatic or visible way at first, but in ways that are precise, almost invisible to the untrained eye. Music, conversations shift when you enter a space. Energy softens or sharpens depending on what you carry. Even silence begins to feel different around you. This is because your frequency has reached a point where it no longer adapts to every environment. It begins to set the tone of the environment. Music, and that changes everything. You may notice that certain places start to feel incompatible with you, not because they are wrong, but because they no longer match your signal. Music, what once felt normal may now feel heavy, slow, or misaligned. This is not rejection. This is refinement. At the same time, new spaces, new ideas, and new opportunities will begin to feel instantly familiar. Music, as if they were always meant to be part of your path, simply waiting for you to reach this level of alignment. This is the field responding. The high beings are also showing that your influence is not limited to physical presence. Music, your thoughts, your focus, your attention, these are now carrying more weight than before. What you hold in your awareness begins to amplify. This is why discipline of focus becomes essential at this stage. Not rigid control, but conscious direction. Music, because what you repeatedly return your attention to, you begin to energize. And here is where many misunderstand this level. They believe influence requires constant effort, constant doing, constant projection. Music, but true influence at your level operates through coherence. When your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are aligned, your field becomes clear. Music, and a clear field transmits without distortion. This is why inner alignment now matters more than outer action. Because your outer world is beginning to mirror your internal state with increasing speed. Music, you may have already noticed this acceleration. Things resolving faster. Patterns revealing themselves quicker. Music, misalignment becoming harder to ignore. This is not pressure. This is precision. Your system is no longer designed to carry prolonged distortion. It corrects faster now. And with that comes a new responsibility. not imposed from outside, but arising naturally from your awareness. Music, the responsibility to remain present with yourself. To notice when you drift out of alignment and gently return. To choose clarity even when distraction feels easier. Music, this is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Because consistency stabilizes your field. And a stable field becomes a reliable transmission point. Music, the high beings are also bringing your attention to something subtle but important. Your impact on others is no longer always comfortable for them. As your frequency strengthens, it can illuminate what others are not yet ready to face. Music, not through confrontation, but through contrast. Some will feel inspired around you. Some will feel unsettled. Some may distance themselves without explanation. Music, this is not something to fix. It is something to understand. You are not here to regulate how others respond to your frequency. Music, you are here to remain true to it. Because every response, whether attraction or resistance, is part of a larger recalibration happening beyond what is immediately visible. There is also a refinement happening in your sense of direction. Before, you may have relied on external signs, confirmations, or validations to guide your choices. Music, but now, your internal signal is becoming stronger than any external input. You will begin to feel a clear knowing before evidence appears. A quiet certainty that does not need to be explained. Music, this is your navigation system coming fully online. And it will not always make logical sense. But it will always be accurate. Trusting it is part of your expansion now. Even when it leads you away from what is familiar. Even when it asks you to choose differently than before. Music, because your path is no longer based on repetition. It is based on alignment. The high beings are also revealing that your relationship with outcomes is shifting. Before, outcomes may have felt like something to chase, control, or secure. Music, but now, outcomes become a natural result of your state. When you are aligned, the outcome organizes itself. When you are misaligned, the friction appears immediately. Music, this feedback loop is becoming faster, clearer, more direct. And it is designed to support you, not challenge you. It keeps you on course without needing force. Music, there is one more layer to receive. Your capacity. It has expanded beyond what you are used to holding. Which means there will be moments where you feel more awareness, more sensitivity, more perception. Music, this is not overwhelm. It is expansion adjusting to itself. You are learning how to hold more without losing stability. And that takes a brief period of recalibration. Music, allow it. Do not rush to reduce what you feel. Do not try to return to smaller versions of yourself for comfort. Music, your system is learning a new baseline. And once it stabilizes, what once felt intense will feel natural. This is how growth integrates at your level. Quietly, gradually, permanently. Music, the high beings want to leave you with this understanding. You are no longer moving through life unnoticed by the field around you. Your presence registers. Your energy communicates. Your alignment influences. Music, even in moments where you feel still. Even in moments where you feel ordinary. Even in moments where you feel uncertain. Your field is active. Your signal is being received. Music, and everything that is meant to meet you at this level is already adjusting its path accordingly. You do not need to force connection. You do not need to chase alignment. You do not need to prove your readiness. Music, you simply need to remain present within the frequency you have already become. Because from this point forward, your life is no longer something you are trying to shape. It is something that is beginning to shape itself around you.